What is up, everyone? Coffee Break is back with another video. Week 4 is here. The 49ers face the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. These are two teams that look like they're heading in opposite directions at the moment. The 49ers obviously with impressive victories in New York against the Jets and the Giants, just beat them down like a good team would. And then you have the Eagles, who have struggled all year against also some bad opponents, Washington, Cincinnati, and having won, but they have struggled, and they're facing a confident 49ers team that, even with injuries, believe they can beat any team in the conference. The more you think about it, it's a huge game regardless how you slice it up. I mean, I'm on record saying the 49ers must start the year 4-1 to be respected as a playoff team with all the injuries they've had to endure, and Philly is just hoping to get a win. I mean, the media is already bashing this team. I'm not sure how long some of these coaches will be around if they continue to play like this. So a lot on the line for this Eagles team, with already questionable decisions made in the offseason. Drafting Jalen Reagor, drafting Jalen Hurts, and now it trickles down to the level of play they are displaying on Sundays. It's just not pretty. And let's start with San Francisco, because there's a lot to dissect on both sides. It's looking like the 49ers are finally getting some good news this week. George Kittle and Deebo have been participating in practice this week, so huge step in the right direction for this offense, who has been dialed in ever since the week 1 disappointment. Granted, they played maybe the worst two teams in the league right now in the Jets and the Giants, but great teams find ways to win, and this team not only beat them but showed them no mercy. I mean, it wasn't even close. That's a credit to this coaching staff for having their guys ready to play and just having that next man up mentality. This week, you're expected to have somewhat of your roster back with Kittle and Deebo, just two playmakers out the gate. Still no Jimmy Garoppolo. I was already expecting him to miss another week, given that he didn't practice at all the previous week, and he still hasn't practiced this week. So I think Jimmy returns to practice possibly by next week, with a chance to play in week 5 against the Dolphins. But overall, good news across the board. Some other moves that were made this week includes Dee Ford, Mark Nzacha, and Jordan Reed going on the short-term IR. The good news is that K'Wan Williams, Ahkello Witherspoon, and Jerick McKinnon have been participating in practice. Doesn't seem like it's too severe for those three. So corner position that was very thin last week is looking like it's getting some reinforcements back for this week. Now for the Eagles, on the injury report, you have first-round draft pick Jalen Reagor going on IR. Huge hit for this Philly team. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, another receiver, and Deshaun Jackson, yet another receiver, did not practice either. Actually, there's been an update on Deshaun Jackson. He's been ruled out for this game. So Philly is more banged up than the Niners at this point. And with a team who has struggled to move the football and just struggled to put points on the board, it's going to make it that much more tough. They're playing a very good 49ers defense, so I guess the only way I see them winning maybe is just make it ugly on Sunday. But yeah, let's get into Carson Wentz for a little bit, because he's been just, there's no other way to put it, he's been awful. He's thrown 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Yes, 6 interceptions this year. Accuracy just is gone. He doesn't make the best decision with the football. The old Carson Wentz before the injuries is gone. We don't know where he's at, but it's pretty clear. Ever since this team won the Super Bowl, they stuck with him. They said this was our quarterback, but he's not playing like he should be. But you know, his team is not helping him at all either. I think head coach Doug Peterson deserves a lot of the blame on how south this team has gone this year. Some of his play calls have me scratching my head at times. They also look so unprepared as a team. Wide receivers dropping passes, offensive line no longer a strength for this team, struggling at pass protection, missing blocks off screens. They're just not executing, and it all points to the head coach, in my eyes. And the worst part about this is we don't know what identity this team has. Their defense is, I mean, their numbers would say they're a top defense, but I don't think they're great either. Pass rush can get home at times, but they played the Rams earlier this year. They looked lost in space playing the Rams, a really good football team, the only good football team they played this year. Struggled to defend the play action pass, something the Niners do so well. Rams just kept motioning guys over, running up tempo, and the Eagles defense just had no answer. So your quarterback is struggling. Offensive line and skill players are hurt and struggling. Defense are the top in terms of sacks and yards allowed, but played the only good team in the Rams this year and got smoked. Also, they had 8 sacks last week. 8 sacks. They sacked Joe Burrow 8 times. So yeah, that might skew the numbers a little bit in week 3 and overall in this short year. So I'm a little suspicious about this defense. So the Eagles have a whole lot of problems that don't even start to mention their opponent this week, the 49ers. So to me, I'm looking at this game and saying, okay, motions, play action, misdirections, bootlegs, end arounds, sweeps. Like, I expect to see these plays being called by the 49ers on Sunday, just similar to what the Rams did. That's the way they attacked them. And defensively for the 49ers, I'm confident with the 4-man pass rush the Niners do have at the moment. I think Javon Kinlaw has impressed all year, and he's constantly getting better every week. Let's see if he can pick up his first sack in this one. I like the way Kerry Hyder Jr. has been playing. I mean, a bright spot in this defense. Really just have found something in him. He's constantly applying pressure, and the numbers show that. Fred Warner, I mean, he's the heartbeat of this defense. He'll continue to flash. I wouldn't be surprised if he sees a couple of blitzes in this one to take a shot at the quarterback, maybe pick up his first sack. And this secondary, look, safety play has been sound. They've been healthy. No big issues there. The cornerback position, though, there's been injuries. Richard Sherman being down, Kittle Witherspoon, Emmanuel Mosley. Guys stepped up. Guys have stepped up. Just that next man up mentality. I expect them to stay aggressive this week. Though the Eagles are a team that love to take deep shots, but overall secondary has been sound. An area where I'd really like to see improvement though is pass protection and some run blocking. Specifically pointing out Daniel Brunskill, right guard, left guard, Lakin, and I mean you can even throw in Mike McGlinchey, right tackle. They're just getting flat out pushed back and beat. I know the Jets, have a very physical defensive line, but they allowed the Giants to do that as well. So they've struggled somewhat this year. I'd kind of like to see them get more consistent at that. So I think the keys to the game here would be get a turnover. Philly is averaging, I think, over 2 turnovers a game, just worse than the league. They cough up the football. Force Carson Wentz to make that bad throw, force a fumble. They did so against Daniel Jones so well last week. Let's see if they can do it again. The next thing would be don't let Deshaun Jackson beat you with the long ball. And again, I was editing this before the news broke. Deshaun Jackson is of course now ruled out. So deep ball, maybe not a huge concern or a key in this game. So there you have it. And on offense, motion, play action, I mean, that's simple. We saw the Rams just get this defense off balance, had them second guessing. Niners run the same exact system and plays. I expect Shanny to just have a field day on this one. And on the flip side for Philly, just real quick, I mean, a lot of pressure on Wentz and Doug Peterson. They better get this worked out fast. Philly fans are just about done with them. And like I said, the way the Eagles are playing, someone is going to have to lose their job if they continue to play like this. Anyways, guys, let me hear from you. What should the 49ers do in order to come out victorious against the Eagles this Sunday? Go ahead and drop your comments below. Also, feel free to predict the score. I know a lot of you guys have been leaving your score prediction before the game starts, and I love going back and reading those. So I believe the Niners are 7-point favorites, over under at about 45. So Vegas thinks this game won't be close, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching my video, and as always, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.